I think it's fair to say that over the past 2 decades, the internet has evolved drastically. And one of the most obvious ways that can be seen is in the sort of content that becomes popular. It's so far removed from the ordinary stuff that popped off in the mid-2000s. Back then, cat videos reigned supreme. Simple clips such as a baby biting a finger or a guy dancing in his bedroom would amass hundreds of millions of views. However, somewhere along the way, things changed, so that these days, the most popular content is out of this world, extreme, remarkable stunts that are viewed so much because they've never been viewed before. It goes without saying, but Mr. Beast is a prime example of this. He makes videos so unbelievable that he's cultivated the largest audience the internet has ever seen. However, it's not just him. In 2025, the videos that become the most popular are the ones that are taken to the nth degree. Whether it be traveling around the USA to eat at every single Margaritaville in the country, or ranking every single Simpsons episode ever aired. The content that sees the most traction online right now, by and large, is the content that has the largest superlative, whatever that superlative might be. But there's been a trend that's been growing very rapidly over the past several months that's taken everything we know about adult content and has completely and utterly thrown it out of the window. If extreme content is the most noteworthy entertainment, then would the most extreme adult content be the most noteworthy in adult entertainment? And we finally have an answer. Yes, it absolutely is. A Pandora's box has recently been opened on OnlyFans, and right now it seems impossible to close, with sex stunts and challenges being all the rage over the past few months. But what lies underneath the surface of this? Are these challenges nothing more than harmless fun and profit making, or are they slowly beginning to reveal the true extent of women's exploitation in the modern age and the dark side of the porn industry? Well, in this video, we'll be doing a deep dive into these stunts pulled by women who are challenging themselves to have sex with as many men as they possibly can in order to understand how we got here, what the impact is, and what this means moving forward. If at any point you have something to say and you want to bring a point up, I'm opening up a dialogue in my comments, so let's hear your thoughts. And while you're down there, please don't be afraid to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. With that said, let's get into things. It's tough to say where all of this one-upmanship started. I spoke about OnlyFans guerrilla marketing at length in my video about Joey Swole takedowns recently. Essentially, over the past few years, especially on Twitter, OF girls have been doing the most extreme and radical things they can think of in order to get large accounts to share videos and articles on them. That said, I think you can make the argument that it was Lily Phillips, a 23-year-old British model, that truly opened up this can of worms, for doing something so taboo that it would make headlines even in 2024, which is really saying something. If you don't know about this, Lily Phillips had sex with, and I'm not kidding when I say this, 100 men in a single day. One after another, after another, after another, after another, after another, for several hours. A documentary was made about the event by a YouTuber named Josh Pieters, which is up on YouTube now, and currently has more than 9 million views as of early February 2025, slightly under 2 months since it was first posted. This documentary shows Josh speaking to Miss Phillips in the build-up. It then showed some censored interviews with people in the line and men that had just come out of the room, and finally there was a debrief at the end of the day with Lily after she had gone through all 100 men. When something like this catches all of the headlines and goes so viral, it forces you to take a step back. What's the future of sex work and OF? Where is this industry heading? Things are only getting more extreme with each passing year. Audiences are craving more and more, and for the people that are getting into this industry, they either have to keep up or risk getting left behind. It kind of reminds me of that episode of South Park where the internet goes out and Randy, one of the main character's dads, makes the point that at a certain stage, if you watch pornography that's extreme enough, it's tough to go back to more tame content.
Once you jerk off to Japanese girls puking in each other's mouths, you can't exactly go back to Playboy.
Now, studies on watching adult content are very hard to conduct without breaking ethical guidelines, and any information that you do receive has to be questioned because it's near impossible to tell whether what you've been told is actually the truth. People very well might lie about what they're watching and how often they watch it, but it's generally believed that people's viewing habits become more extreme the further down the rabbit hole they go. Therefore, for many of the porn-rotted people, there's no roof to how high things could go. There'll always be a market for more extreme content, one that, now the horse is out of the barn, is being capitalized on by other models in what has to be described as a pornographic Cold War-style arms race where multiple women are trying to be Neil Armstrong and plant their flag up on the moon. This, in turn, has led to the degradation of smaller challenges. If you don't believe me that these sorts of challenges are becoming more common, then let me drop you with this knowledge. Lily Phillips, ever since the 100 people in one day stunt, has since come out to say that she wants to do a challenge where she has anal sex with 60 men in one day. An idea that's been panned by health professionals who've warned her of potential risks. Lily's come out to say that she has a plan to make it as comfortable and as safe as possible, but at the end of the day, if medical professionals are warning against it, it's tough to argue that Lily Phillips and her team are going to know any better than they do, considering that it's their professions. She also came out after the stunt to say that she wanted to graduate to having sex with 300 men in a day, and then at one point, 1,000.
I'm going to be the first person ever to reach 4 digits of guys all in one day. Yes, 1,000 guys.
Now, call me old-fashioned, I'm probably going to get some stick for saying this, but I feel like I have to say it. To me, that is sick. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be the fun police or anything, but having sex with 1,000 people in a day, that's what we're doing in 2025? Really? Sex challenges of this magnitude shouldn't be glorified or normalized in any way, but I guess this is just the 2025 zeitgeist. However, Lily Phillips' 100 Men stunt would open up a sex work Pandora's box that currently looks like it's never going to close. What was once a crazy, absurd number in late 2024 is barely a starter for Lily now, and so the number of 100 men in a single day has well and truly been degraded, and not in a fun kinky way. If you haven't been keeping up to date with the fallout of Lily Phillips' video, there's been a sex-off between Lily Phillips and other OF models who have vowed to one-up her. This is exactly what I said was going to happen. OnlyFans has well and truly become gamified. For example, we have a Turkish model named Ezra Van Dan who came out on Twitter within a post that's been seen more than 25 million times, and she stated that she was going to beat the Turkish record, then the world record. Ezra Van Dan was then swiftly arrested by Turkish police for breaking obscenity laws. Apparently, the Istanbul 6th Criminal Justice Ship of Peace determined that her idea was damaging to moral values, and therefore her arrest was warranted. Van Dan argued that what she was doing wasn't harming anyone else, and therefore her arrest was unfair. Her husband was also arrested, but was later released. And this is where yet another character enters the fray. A character named Bonnie Blue, who, I kid you not, was reported to have had sex with over 1,000 men in 12 hours. Apparently the number was 1,057 in total. But do take that figure with a grain of salt, considering that there's only 720 minutes in 12 hours, so that means that she must have been having sex with multiple people simultaneously, essentially the entire time. Now, I've never watched this video, nor do I intend to, so I can't vouch for its legitimacy. I still do question whether or not it actually happened. I don't know if she just said it was banned and it was just never uploaded in the first place. I'm really not too sure. But I do have a few things to say about it. First of all, in case you don't know her, Bonnie Blue is an extremely controversial figure in general. She specifically singles out 18 to 19-year-old boys to have sex with, usually virgins. She said that she does it to give them experience in the bedroom, but many people have called it extremely exploitative and have argued that if the roles were reversed, it would be seen as extremely problematic. Secondly, the video of this was apparently taken down from OF. This was apparently because OF wants complete and utter transparency on everyone that features within their videos. It needs to verify the age and identity of every single person that's featured. Especially given that Bonnie Blue has a known history of sleeping with freshly 18-year-olds, it was deemed impossible for OF to confirm the identities of each of the 1,057 men. However, it was also stated that to Bonnie Blue, this didn't matter, as the publicity that this stunt generated made it worth it. She claims that she now makes £600,000 a month off OF, and reportedly has a net worth equivalent to $3 million. Back on topic, this doesn't appear to be where the story ends. In fact, it seems like it's just starting. In the last few days, it was also revealed that Lily Phillips, the girl that started this all, had also tried to break the 1,000 man mark too. She was planning to head to Sin City, otherwise known as Las Vegas, in order to achieve the milestone, but she was stopped at the US border and was told that it wasn't allowed. She would send a video into TMZ describing what happened, which I'll play for you now.
Well, I was meant to do it here, and then so we've had to kind of postpone that because obviously I got stopped at the border, and they were like, "You're here to f*** 1,000 guys." I was like, "Yes." And they were like, "Right, you can't be doing that here." I got stopped at the border, and they were basically like, "You know, you can't be fucking 1,000 guys here," because I guess it's technically classed as work, like. But it's funny, really. Like, they stopped me at the border, and that's what they said, and so I said, okay, I won't do it here. I think it's probably because I use my real name is the same as my stage name, and that's probably how they figured that out. Like, they must have rather just, like, seen... Because they were like, "Oh, you've been going viral in the media lately, and we know you're here to fuck 1,000 guys." So I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Yeah, you're not doing that here." Because I'm a sex worker, like, they just don't like it. They're basically asking if I'm a prostitute or not.
Essentially, to clear things up, I believe that Lily would have gone there on a tourist visa, and so if she was planning to do work, especially sex work, that wouldn't be allowed. She was told that if she ever did a sex stunt like that in the US, she wouldn't be allowed back. As of early February 2025, when I'm recording this, there hasn't been a new major stunt since. At least none that I could find. But it's very possible that by the time you see this video, someone else is going to come along and try to beat these records or do something else insane. So why does this matter? At the end of the day, the women here, by law, have to be consenting adults. They have agreed to do this. This stunt has probably made Lily Phillips a fat stack of cash. It's said that she's made at least £2 million, equivalent to roughly $2.5 million US. She might only need to work for a few more years, and with the right investment strategy, she could just live off interest for the rest of her life. However, now that a bar has been set, someone, if they were crazy enough, could come along to try to top it, to make the headline even bigger. At the end of the Josh Pieters documentary, Lily Phillips broke down into tears. It's made people question whether or not this is something that she actually wants to do with her life. Do keep in mind that despite these women being consenting adults, they're also very young by design. In fact, according to sources I found, the average age of a female porn actress is 22 years old. Now, there are several reasons for this. First of all, the plurality of porn consumers are under 35 years old. According to The Hub, 18 to 24-year-olds make up 27% of their user base. And let's not kid ourselves, under 18s would probably make up a substantial portion too. And the likelihood is that they're going to want to see someone who looks young. Also, a little bit more controversial, according to an OkCupid study, 22 years old is the age that women are the most attractive to essentially all men, regardless of the age of the man. One could argue that Leonardo DiCaprio is a prime example of this, given his dating history. 22 years old is also a time whereby women probably aren't wives or mothers yet, so they're self-sufficient, they're more likely to take risks, but they'd also be at the bottom of their career ladders, so getting into sex work would probably make them much richer than they'd be otherwise. However, for the Twitter scientists amongst you, 22 years old is 3 years before your frontal lobe develops and you transcend into some sort of all-knowing, all-powerful being. Now, I'm 23 years old and I have 0 tattoos, and the reason for that is that I know if I get one now, I might not like it in 5 or 10 or 20 years time. In the same vein, years on from their videos, many former porn actresses have come out to express regrets in what they did. Not all of them, of course. Some of them are very proud of what they do and will be for the rest of their lives. But others will express regret one day. Relating this back to the subjects of our video, especially given Phillips' reaction after the day was over, and some of the stuff that she was saying in the film, it led audience members to question whether she has the right support system in place. Thousands think that she's in denial. Thousands think that this is a form of self-harm. Thousands think that this is actually traumatic for her. Many people have concluded that this is an accident waiting to happen, and it's about to unfold in front of our own eyes. Many of the largest former actresses have come out to say that they regretted what they did, but even they didn't sleep with 100 men in one day. Despite Lily doubling down, there is currently genuine concern for her health and safety. I think that this recent trend has shown us that there is a potential for the adult entertainment industry to have a real shake-up over the next several years. It's currently estimated that roughly 11% of men and 3% of women are addicted to porn. And that's a number that I don't think is going to go down anytime soon. In some cases right now, it appears as though sex and intimacy is being treated as a video game, with each player trying to get a high score. I can't help but think that we as a society need to take a look at ourselves, especially the men in those lines need to take a look at themselves, and question whether or not this is how we want things to go. If this one-upmanship and besting is the way forward for sex workers and the adult entertainment industry. Because in my opinion, it's an extremely distressing thought to believe that this could be where we end up. If people keep pushing the boundaries further and further, it's only a matter of time before some sort of irreparable damage is done. Intimacy shouldn't be some sort of Mr. Beast challenge, but this one-upmanship is treating it like it is. So what do you guys think about the situation? Even if you disagree with me, let me know down below, because this is by far one of the most insane trends I've ever witnessed. And while you're down there, I'd like to once again remind you to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this and you haven't already. You could also add me on Instagram or Twitter, both of the links are in the description. If you're looking to check out another video from me, then why not watch my video on OnlyFans controversies from back in 2023. In that video, I shed more light on the dark side of the industry. Or you could check out my recent video on toxic gym influencers and Joey Swole's responses to them. That one also touches on the extreme lengths that OF girls go to in order to get clicks. Both of them are great videos, click on the screen now to check them out. Aside from that, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.